All right, everybody. So this is how I would answer a few of these F equals ma Newton's second law questions that we had in our homework. First thing to remember is that at the top of our paper, in that box, we need to write down the formula. The formula is already written at the top. It's F equals ma. The F stands for force. And remember, force is always in newtons. The M stands for mass. And so anytime you see kilograms in your question, that's your mass. And A stands for acceleration, right? And the units for acceleration are meters per second squared. Okay, that's how fast you speed up or how many meters per second you speed up every second. All right, all of the questions are done pretty much the same way as long as it's some form of calculation you need to do. We're always going to be using the F equals ma formula, except for in the case of, I think it is number 5. On number 5, we'll have to use two formulas. All right, let's go back though to number 1. We would write down F equals M equals A equals every time. Okay, then we'll read the question. It says, what is the force required to accelerate a 200 kilogram object at a rate of 10 meters per second squared? So I'm going to start filling in what I know. I know that I'm looking for the force because it says, what is the force? So that's my question mark. I'm trying to accelerate a 200 kilogram mass. So 200 kilograms for M. And the rate I want to accelerate it at is 10 meters per second squared. So we'll put that in there. 10 meters per second squared for A. The next step will be write down F equals ma. We'll always write down the formula that we're going to use, and then we start making our substitutions. We're looking for F. Let's pick a different color. So I'll leave it as F. We know M, it's 200, and that's times A, which is 10. Okay, we'll take out our calculator if we need it, which we should use it most of the time anyways, and punch that into our calculator. 200 times 10 is 2,000 newtons. Put a box around our answer. Okay, make sure though that you have the correct units, and if you can't remember what the units are, then just look up again at the top when we're solving for F. That'll be, that'll be newtons. All right, next question. You need to, again, write down F equals M equals A equals, and then we'll read the question. Okay, what is the mass of an object whose velocity increases at a rate of 5 meters per second squared when a force of 350 newtons is applied? Okay, so we are trying to find this time what is the mass. So I will put a question mark there. The velocity increase, another name for velocity increase is acceleration, will be 5 meters per second squared. And the force that's being applied is 350 newtons. Remember, 1 newton of force is about equal to the weight of an apple, just to kind of give you a sense of how much 350 newtons is. Step 2, write down the formula F equals ma. Make our substitutions. Pick a different color. Let's see, we already have that color. How about this one? F is 350. M is unknown. And the A is being multiplied times the M. So I'll just put a multiplication symbol in there. And 5. Okay. Now, I want you guys to be careful when you're solving these kinds of questions that you're not just grabbing two numbers and multiplying them together or grabbing two numbers and dividing them, because you can see we're not always multiplying and we're not always going to be dividing. In this case, because we're trying to get the M by itself, we will be dividing both sides by 5. Okay, and remember, when you're typing in 350 divided by 5, you're going to do it exactly in that order. On your calculator, you'll put 350 divided by 5 equals, okay, and in your answer, I want you to write down mass equals, and then you'll enter that into your calculator. And don't forget to include your units. Okay, I'll leave that for you to calculate. Same thing, basically, on question number 3. Question number 4 is a kind of a conceptual question. So think about that one and then, write down your answer as a sentence. Question number 5, it says, what is the velocity after 10 seconds? Another way to say what is the velocity after 10 seconds is, what is the final velocity? Okay, and so you'll remember when we're trying to find final velocity, we have a formula for that. Final velocity is equal to the initial velocity plus the acceleration times time. So we'll have to go back to that formula that we have already learned before. We are going to need to have a value for acceleration and a value for time. We can assume frequently that the initial velocity is 0. In this question, it says, again, what is the velocity after 10 seconds of a mass of 100 kilogram mass experiencing a 2,000 Newton force? So we'll write down what we know. We have mass is 100 kilograms. The force is 2,000 newtons. To be able to answer this question, we're going to need to know how much it is accelerating. That will let us figure out how fast it's going after 10 seconds. Okay, so to really what we're looking for here, first, we're looking for what is the acceleration, because we need to know that. So we'll write down our formula, F equals ma, every time. The force is 2,000 newtons. The mass is 100 kilograms. And acceleration is a. So we'll divide both sides by 100 to get the a by itself. Right? 2,000 divided by 100 gives us an acceleration that is equal to 20 meters per second squared. That means every second we'll be speeding up 20 meters per second. Okay, so we're going to have to move on to the second part. And in the second part, we're going to be trying to find the final velocity. We'll assume the initial velocity is 0 because it doesn't say. So we'll just assume that it starts from rest and it's being pushed. The acceleration is 20 and time is equal to 10 seconds. Okay, that's meters per second squared, 10 seconds. Okay, next step will be write down our formula, VF equals VO plus AT. Always write it down so that then you can write below it what you know. VF equals 0 plus 20 times 10. And I always start from the right side over here. And so I would go 10 times 20 is 200. 200 plus 0 is 200. And that will give me a final velocity of 200 meters per second. Put a box around it. Give yourself a high five. Okay. Down there in the number 6, I give you 2 of the values and ask you to solve for the third one. So just go down row by row, okay, as you're going down through there. Practice using the F equals ma formula. And then please don't forget number 7 on the back, write a question and solve 3 questions, or write and solve 3 questions using Newton's second law. All right, so hopefully that helps. If it helped you, then make sure you like and subscribe. Smash that like button down there at the bottom. Thank you. Bye-bye.